It's Monday, October the 30th, 2023. I am James. No, excuse me. Tonight, that's incorrect. I'm a bad boy. You are you, and we are here for the 2023, the fourth annual Great Pumpkin Carve on twitch.tv/athomewithjames. They said it couldn't be done. They said it couldn't be done again. And they said a third time, you're pushing it. How about a fourth time? I'm a bad boy. I'll push you right out the window. And I'll pull my pants down and take a whiz all over your body because I'm a bad boy. I'm not doing things the right way. I'm doing things the wrong way. I have fully embraced spooky season. And what does that mean? It means I've got an edge tonight. I'm walking along a razor blade. I might fall left. I might fall right. I might fall dead center and split myself in two because that's the only way I know how to live. Happy Halloween Eve. This is so incredibly exciting. We have got three judges. We've got three extremely nervous carvers. And by the night's end, one of those carvers, by way of scores from the judges, will etch their name in at-home history. They will be joining a circle of champions that include Kim Ho. It also includes Taylor McMillan, and most recently, Kathy Fagan as pumpkin carving specialists. So if you're asking, James, when are we going to get to the carving? That's what I want to get to, but we can't get to the carving until we meet the three people. They're going to be grabbing their knives, gutting some gourds, all in the name of competitive goodness. So let us open the gates and meet our pumpkin carvers in 2023. We're beginning first and foremost, Sarah Ellis. Sarah, you made your debut on this show last year, and now you're part of one of, if not the greatest nights in this show's history. First and foremost, how do you feel?
Honestly, a little nervous. Very honored to be here and ready to stab some pumpkin.
Now, what are you dressed as tonight?
I'm a giraffe.
You are a giraffe. Yeah, you're wearing, what are those called again? Kikatarus?
Kigurumi?
Okay, so I was close, but also sort of far. Also joining us tonight, rock star by night, pumpkin carver by earlier in the night. It's Marlaena Moore. Marlaena, how you feeling? You were asked to be part of this competition about a week ago. You were scared to buy the pumpkin. I said, I will e-transfer you the money. You said, take your money, stick it where the sun don't shine. You're here tonight. How are you feeling going into this carve?
Oh gosh, I don't know what I've gotten myself into, James. Let me tell you, I told you before how much I really hate pumpkin carving a lot. It's one of my least favorite things to do. And when I came home, I rushed home from work because I was like, I gotta scrape this damn gourd before getting on the air. And I just kept yelling and screaming all over my house. But you know, I'm gonna try. I'm
okay.
Open to a good time, you know.
And what are you dressed as tonight?
Well, James, you've heard of Elf on a Shelf. Well, I am an elf who is also a chef, so I am a shelf, basically.
All right. Well, you may have trailed off a little bit there at the tail end. I think I heard the word Amish at some point. Let's move on. Last but certainly not least, sitting very far away from the camera, it's Danielle Davidson with a smoke in her mouth. Danielle, oh my God. How are you feeling going into this carve tonight?
I'm really excited.
Yeah, I can tell you're insisting on playing a character tonight.
I'm not.
Which I think is a. I think your priorities are very much out of order.
No. You said you weren't James. You said you were a bad boy. I'm not Danielle.
It was just mostly for the intro. Yeah. You know, I don't intend on urinating on anyone tonight or splitting myself up the center with a razor blade.
Aw, so disappointing.
Danielle, have you ever carved a pumpkin before?
I don't think so.
Okay, so uncertain as to whether or not you've carved a pumpkin, what are you dressed as tonight?
Let me show you.
Are you a street girl? Oh, no. Wow, what a performance. So Danielle, let us know what you are with your words.
Yeah. Oh, wait. I just want to show you my knives first.
No, I want to know what your damn costume is.
I'm a fucking streaker.
All right, now we can get into the carving portion of it. I asked Sarah and Marlaena the same question. They both gave me answers right to the point. Hey, Danielle, what's your costume? I want to show you my knives. Let's get into it. I would like for all three of tonight's contestants to show what they're going to be working with in terms of their instruments of destruction. So, Danielle, we might as well start with you because you're very eager to show us your artillery. No, Danielle, I want to see the knives. We haven't gotten to the inspecting portion yet. All right, so it looks like you're using kitchen knives. Marlaena, let's go to you. What are you going to be using tonight?
Well, I was at Salvation Army, and they had these little carving kits for sale.
Yeah.
So I'll see. I'm also I'm at my craft table, so I'm thinking I might try to mix it up tonight. We'll see.
That is well within your parameters. Sarah, let's go to you. What are you going to be using to carve tonight?
I have a Mastercraft X-Acto knife.
Yeah, you showed me this off air, and I will say right now, I think that's a very bad decision.
Okay. I also have I have a Leatherman knife.
Oh,
which is it's a multi-tool, so it can do all kinds of stuff.
Oh, my dad is so happy right now that you're using that.
I love my Leatherman. This thing is indestructible.
I'm not judging tonight, but I would have to say, okay, now that knife, you might do better work with that. It might be a bit too big. I'm going to say I'm not a judge. Based on what I see in terms of your instruments, I'm currently predicting the following order from best to medium to worst. I'm projecting, based on instruments, Marlaena will come in first place. Danielle will come in second place, unless she gets wrapped up in this character she's playing. And Sarah, you'll come in third place because I'm very skeptical about your instruments. I want to go to the pumpkins. Sarah, let's start with you. What are you working with now? It's going to be tough for us to really appreciate how big and or not big this is. This looks like a real a big boy here.
This is a fucking pumpkin. I saw Danielle's and I saw Marlena's, and I was like, y'all took little bitch pumpkins.
Oh, I love that the trash talk has already begun, Sarah. I was going to ask you if you could put your pumpkin to your face and head for scale. This thing is really big.
Fucking huge.
Marlaena, can we go to you for scale, please? Pumpkin to your head.
Well, I don't think mine is a little bitch. I think it's fair. I think it's a reasonable size. Like, it's the size is bigger than my head.
Yeah, that's a pretty reasonable size. What would you say in response to Sarah's pumpkin now that she's referred to yours as a little B?
Well, I think that her pumpkin's a really big bully. So that's what I think.
Okay, you're taking the low road as a counterpart to Sarah's, or rather the high road to Sarah's low road. Danielle, let's go to you. Can we bring your pumpkin to your head for scale? Yeah, you might want to turn it to one. Yeah, there we go. But can you bring it to your head? You're cheating out here. Okay, so Danielle looks like she's got the smallest pumpkin of everyone. Once again, she's in character, folks. I want to quickly ask all three of you one final question before the carving begins. Danielle, we're going to start with you on a scale of 1 to 10 Jameses. 10 Jameses being the most confident, 1 being the least. How confident are you? How many Jameses are you?
7 Jameses.
Pretty good. Marlaena, let's go to you. 1 to 10 Jameses. 10 the most, 1 the least.
I'm at a 5. I'm right down the middle. I have no idea how this is gonna go.
Okay, Sarah, we'll wrap it up with you. 1 to 10 Jameses, 10 being the most, 1 being the least.
I think like 3 or 4 because I have so much more surface area.
Yes. Well, you've got roughly 45 minutes to an hour. We will check in with you in about 20 minutes time or so. So let the pumpkins begin to be carved right here on the At Home Show. As we do that, we are going to quickly make a statement. There's a shocking turn of events tonight. If you were looking at our Instagram page earlier today, you noticed that Marilyn, friend of the show, was announced as a judge reprising her position from last year. She has not arrived. And we made the difficult decision to cut her from the show. It is, as far as I'm concerned, it's never happened in the history of this show. I'm sure that at some point I will get a message saying, oh my God, I forgot. But luckily, I overbooked this show. So we've got a backup judge, and we're going to bring all 3 of our judges onto the show right now. Let's open the gates and let's see the judges. So for a 3rd consecutive year, he is the chief political correspondent of the show, Sid Rock. Sid, welcome back to the show tonight. So glad to have you back as a judge.
Yes, I'm happy to be back. I don't know when the last time I was here was, but I'm sure you do. Extensive.
I can tell you it was in March as we were getting ready for At Home Live and in person, where you were also a judge as part of the Mr. At Home pageant, where you judged a series of men.
Nice. I love judging things for you, James.
Well, I love that you love it.
I'm eager to learn the criteria by which I will judge these pumpkins.
Of course.
And I'm also happy to be a judge with Joe. You know, the reason behind which I am here tonight and invested in this pumpkin carving competition.
Felt like you really trailed off there at the tail end, Sid. It felt like you had a couple beers and they kicked it in that moment and the world began moving past you.
Well, you know, the responsibility that I bear tonight just weighed down upon me.
Yes.
And this is number 4. We're about to crown the 4th.
Yes. Yeah. And 4 is an important number. Dave, I want to go to you for, I believe, a 2nd time on the show. You're dressed as a pirate.
Yeah.
How are you feeling tonight? This is your 2nd time judging the pumpkin carve.
I'm feeling pretty good. I feel like kind of look like I'm entering a crab eating contest or something. This feels very like Bibby or something.
Some type of like lesser known chain restaurant. Or maybe you're going into a Long John Silver's to eat as much king crab leg as possible.
That's exactly it. I'm entering the Long John Silver's Win Your Meal competition.
Yes. Now, Joe, we're going to go to you. This was moments before getting on air. I made the declaration. We got to start the show. You were going to be an analyst again this year to help the contestants walk through what happens if they win, but more specifically lose, as you have lost this competition twice. You've never won. You have stepped in to be a judge, which I think might be a really I don't know if it's a good idea. I don't think it's a bad idea, but I think you're coming in hot tonight.
I don't know who this Joe is. I'm Mr. Bruce. I'm Mr. Bruce Vilanch. I'm the Rosie O'Donnell star. I got Whoopi Goldberg kicked off the Oscars. I was center square on the Hollywood squares throughout the early 2000s. Just below.
James, you're not going to say hello to Bruce?
Yeah, I was incorrect. I thought we were talking with Joe Conto tonight. No, we're talking with
Mr. Bruce Vilanch, comedy writer to the stars.
Yeah, Mr. Bruce Vilanch, who was looking at his cell phone while he was being brought on air.
I didn't know that I was on air.
Bruce,
I gotta stay current. I got jokes to make.
Yeah, Bruce, this is your first time on the show. I really want to thank both you and your agent for making this possible tonight.
Don't talk to me about my agent. We're in a fight.
Oh, yeah, what happened, Bruce?
Well, I was supposed to ride front seat limousine, and guess who's unpacking luggage at the airport? Me, Mr. Bruce Vilanch.
I notice you're very insistent on referring to yourself as Mr. Bruce Vilanch. I've never heard you referred to as in such terms.
Well, there's been controversy lately, and I decided to make a decision. Pow, pow, pow.
Now I'm curious to know, Dave or Sid, have you been up to date on any controversy surrounding Mr. Bruce Vilanch?
Well, you know, we all watch Hollywood Squares regularly these days, and I'm just in awe of being on top. I mean, in the frame of the show, I'm on top of the center square.
Yeah, which is
Dave.
Sorry,
Dave. Yeah, who is the center square? Of course,
a Mr. Bruce Vilanch.
A Mr. Bruce Vilanch. Sid, this is the first time you've ever been on the show with Mr. Bruce Vilanch, because it's Mr. Bruce Vilanch's first time. Anything you want to say to Mr. Bruce Vilanch? We all thought it was Joe, but I guess we were wrong.
Bruce, I am vaguely familiar with your work, but
I'm
I
overwhelmed.
but I am, the people who know who you are seem, to be happy to be here with you.
Yeah,
So
we're mildly impressed.
I'm happy to meet you and to familiarize myself with your work through judging.
Well, I very much appreciate that the effusive honors you've bestowed on me, Mr. Bruce Vilanch. Wait a minute. My rubber chicken is here somewhere.
All right. Well, as Mr. Bruce Vilanch is looking for his rubber chicken, I want to quickly get into what we noticed off the top. Dave, we're going to start with you. Again, this is the second time you're judging the Great Pumpkin Carve, formerly known as the Pumpkin Carving Extravaganza. You saw the contestants, you saw their costumes, you saw their instruments. What are your first impressions, Dave the Pirate?
I'm a little bit worried.
Yeah,
I'm a little bit worried about the potential quality of these pumpkins. I feel like I'm also worried for Sarah Ellis's general well-being during this.
Yeah, what? Yeah, Dave, why is that?
Because she has a giant knife.
Yeah. An X-Acto knife and a Swiss Army knife. A variety of knives that are not conducive to pumpkin carving.
No, they're more conducive to 9/11 than pumpkin carving.
Wow, that laughter really trailed off.
Yeah.
Sid, let's go to you. Your first impressions based on what you've seen, pumpkin size and the instruments, which are a variety of types of knives and blades.
This is a really interesting one because on one hand, I really like the gusto behind Sarah's choice of pumpkin. The whole go big or go home. The thing is, one, like the gusto with which she is swinging for the fences combined with the tools, it's either too big or too small. This is a really interesting creative constraint. Yeah, for Marlaena it's kind of the opposite, because having the smaller pumpkin, it kind of
Yeah, I want to quickly ask, Dave, you're our technical director tonight. Would you be able to mute Danielle's audio? I hear vague cackling. There we go. Thank you, Dave. Sid, let's go back to you.
Yes, I lost my train of thought, but
what was it?
It was something about having the smallest pumpkin and the creative constraints that has, but I forget what tools she has. Basically, it should be interesting. I'm eager to see an update once we, they've actually had a go at it. Because once the whole thing is picking your idea and then you can just execute,
Yeah. Well, I can confirm to you now that one of the carvers is not doing anything. So I'm regretting some invitations tonight. Mr. Bruce Vilanch, I want to go to you. What were your impressions based on what you've seen so far?
James, I just received a cease and desist letter from Bruce Vilanch's people.
What do you mean?
They're insisting that I stop referring to myself as Mr. Bruce Vilanch. And continue.
That's weird, Bruce.
Yeah, Bruce. What are you talking about?
What do you mean, Bruce?
What do you mean?
I'm just kidding. It's me, Mr. Bruce Vilanch.
Oh, that was one of your
bits to say.
Oh, that's classic comedy. Classic comedy from Bruce Vilanch.
Misdirection from Bruce Vilanch.
You had me going.
Yeah, Bruce, what do you think based on what you've seen so far, all the knives at play tonight?
Listen, I'm not going to talk about knives. I'm here to talk about color, hue, tone. And I'm telling you one thing. That young gal, the young giraffe gal, her pumpkin is classic pumpkin orange. Bright, beautiful. That gets points with me.
Hold on.
I really do like the color. That's true.
Wait, how does that differ from the other two orange pumpkins, Bruce?
Oh, it's a completely different orange pumpkin.
It
Do you
pops more.
remember when Sarah Silverman wore that beautiful orange on the red carpet at the People's Choice Awards?
We all remember that,
Hey,
Bruce.
I wrote her all her jokes for that night. All the things that you thought were right on the moment. It was me talking in her ear, Mr. Bruce Vilanch.
Oh, I did not know that, Bruce. So
Yeah.
you're saying that the other two pumpkins are a little bit more dull in color.
Subdued is what we'd say.
Okay.
Now, Bruce, you're known for your topical jokes.
Topical humor, that's me. Current events.
Anything you got cooking in the pipe?
Nothing cooking.
Okay.
Bruce, you're telling us you got no Halloween jokes?
Let me think. Ghost, boo, boo. Oh, knock, knock.
This is going to be good.
Yeah, who's there, Bruce?
Boo.
Boo-hoo.
Oh, why are you crying, James?
Now, I want to go around the horn a little bit. We're going to chat about the criteria coming up because, of course, Dave, Sid, and Mr. Bruce Vilanch are going to be judging tonight. There's 3 criteria. It has remained unchanged since we initiated and introduced the criteria in 2021. It goes as follows. 3 categories: creativity, execution, and spookiness. Creativity, execution, and spookiness, and you'll be scoring each category on a scale of 1 through 5. Again, it has been unchanged over the past couple years. Dave, I want to start with you. What type of pumpkin are you looking for that would turn you on and take you down a pathway that you want to be on as Halloween quickly approaches?
I'm looking for something with a little bit of, maybe a modern take on an old classic.
Would you like to tell us a little bit about what that means to you?
Well, you have your classic, pumpkin skeleton face.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe something like that, but like a little bit of a subversion of the genre.
Okay. In what way?
Well, maybe the skeleton represents something in perhaps pop culture.
Like who?
Like somebody taking Ozempic.
Yeah.
A pumpkin that has been taking Ozempic.
Exactly.
Right.
It used to be a larger pumpkin, and now it's svelte.
Now, coming in from the chat, we got J.R.A. Casey, quote, "Has anyone ever gotten a perfect score? No, it has never happened. Will tonight be the night? Based on what I've seen so far, I'm going hard no." Sid, let's go to you. What do you think is going to lead our contestants on a pathway to victory with you judging them?
I don't want to be too influenced by the tools that they were using because I'm not going to remember, and I don't think it matters really. As long as you have an idea that's interesting and execute it well. Spookiness, like, here's the thing. Honestly, spookiness I've always found stupid as a criteria. I've always kind of just said, what does that even mean? I've kind of just went by vibes because, hey, that's the criteria. I have to, whatever the fuck spookiness even means, I'm supposed to pick a number from 1 to 5, so I will.
I just want to double down on Sid's point here. Spookiness is a very dumb criteria for this contest.
Okay, well, let's hold on. Bruce, what do you think about spookiness as a criteria?
Spookiness is stupid.
All right, okay, so if we were to replace spookiness with a new criteria, what might that be? There's creativity and execution. What could a third criteria be?
I would like to say originality.
That's
I'll tell
creativity.
you what I don't want to see. I don't want to see what I call an Amy Schumer. And that means a stolen idea. She stole ideas from me and put them right there on Comedy Central. I never got paid.
But wouldn't creativity be originality?
No,
Well, Sid is saying yes.
Yes.
Wait.
Creativity could be a knife cut or shading, anything of that nature. Originality. I don't want to see the recreation.
Okay.
Hold on. I think
hold
Bruce
on.
is
Please, let me
Bruce
finish,
is.
please. This is like the time that I had to talk down Whoopi Goldberg on The View.
Go ahead.
What I don't want to see is just something that I saw on the internet recreated. I've seen it on this show.
What do you think, Dave? I think creativity and originality are the same.
I think that they're quite similar. I also want to say I'm sorry for interrupting you, Bruce. What you said was definitely worth it. And I also want to say that maybe it should be technique.
But that would be execution.
Yeah.
Yeah, the spookiness, it's not sounding so bad now, is it?
Maybe fun.
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 Spookiness is fun. Coming in from the chat, J.R. Casey writes, I just want spooky gourds. Creativity is overrated. Spookiness is everything. Guys, I think it's clear. Spookiness stays in 2023 tonight.
I have a question.
It's Halloween.
Did our carvers know this going in?
I believe it was okay. They're saying no. I thought I had mentioned it, but it sounds. Look, I've been outvoted, so we'll say no.
Well then, doesn't seem fair. Well, we'll
Bruce,
see what
you
they
seem
come
really
up with.
attached to
But
the
if somebody
rules.
does,
Yeah,
feel
Bruce,
like if
what's
we do
going
one of
on? It's
these
almost
three-
like you've lost these competitions many times before and have been humiliated publicly.
At no point were the full rules ever provided to the carvers. And as an admirer of a former carver, you know how I feel. I'm just worried that one of these people is going to carve like a mouse or a cat with whiskers, and we're going to have to give them a 0 for spookiness.
What if it's a scary cat?
It's going to be a cute one. I'm telling you right now. I know these three.
All right. Well, before we check back in with the carvers, Bruce, you've actually pre-carved a pumpkin tonight that you wanted to show all the viewers.
Yes. Please hold. Wait, please hold. You have a moment to turn the lights out?
I think we got a moment, Bruce.
The carvers.
What? What?
Bruce has got a pretty humble home.
Yeah. You wouldn't have think he's won a bunch of Emmys.
What do you think about Bruce's home, Sid?
I
Listen.
would have expected a Hall of Famer
Something more
to
palatial?
have more
You expected something more palatial? I'm a writer. I'm on strike.
Okay, so this is Bruce Vilanch's pumpkin. Quite nice.
Yes.
Okay,
I really
so
like it.
what about just for spits and giggles here, Sid, on a scale of 1 to 5, what would you give Bruce's pumpkin on creativity?
Honestly, especially following the speech that he gave before showing that pumpkin, I'm giving you a 1.
Dave, what do you give Bruce's pumpkin on creativity?
Creativity is a tough one because I've seen this pumpkin before. I'll give it a 2.5.
All right, Sid, what do you think about execution?
Execution, I'll give I'm hesitating between 4 and 5. Honestly, it's
Okay.
well executed.
Why not a 4.5?
Sure. Hey.
Dave, what
Let's
do you
do it.
give Bruce's pumpkin on execution?
I'm gonna give it a 4 on execution. I like
Okay.
the detailing of the eyebrows.
How about spookiness, Dave?
It's a spooky pumpkin. I'm gonna give it a 4 on spookiness too. The
Okay,
menacing
Sid.
teeth.
Sid, how about spookiness?
I also think it's spooky. But I've been spooked that way before, so I'll give it a 3 for spookiness.
Okay, so what are your initial thoughts on having your pumpkin judged, Bruce?
I'd like to see Sid carve a pumpkin some year.
Sid, how do you respond?
I staunchly refuse.
All right. So, Bruce, Sid has given your pumpkin it's a grand total of 8.5.
And
And
what's the
it looks like Dave has given you a 10.5,
out
which
of
brings
a
you,
possible
I believe
15?
brings you to 19 points.
Out of a possible 30?
Yes.
Yeah,
All right, you know what? That's a C. That's a C. I'll
that's
take
pretty decent.
Well, listen, these are two hard judges right here.
Okay, well, I want to touch on what you mentioned, Bruce. Dave, have you or will you be carving a pumpkin this year?
I might. My mom grew 2 pumpkins that she gave us, but my daughters decorated them with stickers. So I need to decide if I want to remove all my daughter's stickers and carve it.
Well, eventually it's just going to get thrown out anyway, so it's all the same.
That's right.
Sid, are you going to be carving a pumpkin this year?
Absolutely not.
Have you ever carved one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. Like back in like grade school when we had to.
Sid, do you not like Halloween? Like in general?
Yes, I like
You do.
Halloween. I just don't want to carve up a pumpkin
You
and
don't
gut
have
it
to.
out and
What
like
part
have
do
a
you like?
rotten pumpkin to deal with after.
What part do you like?
The costumes and the candy and the spookiness
Well,
and the music.
we're going to be touching on this when we bring the judges back. I want to go to the chat here. Bruce, J.R. Casey, who's been very active tonight, thank you for that, has given your pumpkin a total of 8 pumpkin points out of a possible 15 if this person was an individual judge. Farm Boy, legendary viewer of the show, writes, well, how are you all doing? That sounds ominous. I like that. High Score Run writes, quote, Bruce lost the pumpkin competition and he wasn't even in it.
Ow.
Bruce, I think it's a really well done pumpkin.
I think it's a good pumpkin.
Yes,
think it's
it is
classic,
well
Bruce.
done. It is absolutely well done.
Well, we're going to check in with the judges again a little bit later on. Right now, we're at the midway point with our carvers. We're going to go back to them and see how they're doing. When we get back to Dave, Sid, and Bruce, of course, Mr. Bruce Vilanch, if you're just tuning in, is here tonight. We'll be talking about Halloween the holiday so we can add some spookiness to this episode and it's not just all pumpkin-y. Oh, I thought one of them was going to say something, but I guess I was wrong. Let's go back to the carvers here. Carvers, you're deep in work. I would ask that you refrain from putting your pumpkin into frame. I want to quickly check in with you three. Sarah, how are you doing today, and what instrument has been doing you the most service?
The big boy has been most helpful.
Did you try the X-Acto knife or the Swiss Army?
I tried both. This came in handy.
Yep.
This is a mistake.
Yes, I feel like the Swiss Army knife might help you with some accenting.
Yeah. This never fails me.
How confident are you feeling now that you've begun?
2.
2? Oh, wow. Things are getting from bad to worse. Marlaena, let's quickly check in with you. How are you feeling so far?
I'm feeling kind of stressed. Feel like I'm a little bit in over my head. I keep misplacing craft supplies, and there is just pumpkin everywhere, man. It's just like, yeah. So, but you know, it's looking kind of cute so far. So I'm
okay.
Work.
Well, I will say, as someone who is watching everything in our production call, and I do not see your pumpkin in frame, you look like you're working awfully hard.
I try to make everything I do as good as possible. So yeah. I'm really doing my best, I swear.
Danielle, let's go to you. It took you a really long time to get started. We can't hear you at all.
I'm now unmuted.
Mm-hmm.
My cackle lives on.
Yeah. Yeah, it took you a really long time to get started.
No. I was carving off frame.
I'm not convinced that I believe that, but all right. You've decided of the 3 carvers to stop carving. during this portion?
Look, it's a small pumpkin.
Mhm.
I mean, I care deeply about it, but it doesn't require much work. You know, I'm
Okay.
not. I haven't. You know, I think it's going great.
Okay. Okay. I mean, look, for someone to take a break during the carve, I don't believe this has ever been done. I know last year when we checked in, Jason was not even in frame anymore. He skipped the check-in to keep carving.
I'm almost done.
This, I must say, is impressive. This might be a first of its kind to almost be done. You're roughly 30 minutes in. There's about another 20 minutes to go.
I'll be able to go for a smoke outside then.
Wow. I have to say, at first, I was kind of sickened with your effort levels. Now I'm impressed. So I take my words and I eat them.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to let Danielle go for her cigarette break, and we're going to leave Marlaena and Sarah to quickly continue working. Good luck as we approach the tail end of the carve. As we do that, a couple quick announcements coming in from the chat. The real Andrew Mackay, another legendary viewer, writes, quote, "It was my night tuning in and seeing Bruce this year. So, look, none of us expected the one and only Hollywood Square himself, Mr. Bruce Vilanch, to be here, but he was here." Farm Boy writes, "This is a contest. Truly a toss-up. I am not sure who's going to win this. I feel confident in saying that Danielle is coming in third place." J.R. Casey writes, quote, "Danielle is slacking. Judges will be able to tell that she's phoning it in." This is a very, very compelling thing to say. I was impressed by her confidence, but I also wondered, is she just throwing a crappy design into the mix? Before we get into it, as mentioned, a couple quick announcements. A week from tonight, it will be November. We go back to our regularly scheduled flavor of At Home with James. But you know what's coming, and it's coming fast, and it's coming furious. So we're going to be announcing it right here and right now. In 2 weeks from next Monday, it is the 4th annual At Home Christmas tree lighting. Some people said I was sick to do it 1 year. A second year, last year, I threw a party in my apartment that I was not able to attend. We lit the tree. We went off the air. Everybody went home. Dave was teching the show from his basement. He had FOMO, fear of missing out. Well, here's the thing. I missed out too. On the 20th of November, the tree will be lit, and the holiday season, the calendar year, officially begins in the world of At Home with James. That's right here on twitch.tv/athomewithjames. And finally, before we bring our judges back on the air, in the name of the holiday season, I'm going to have an announcement next week that is going to rock the foundation of everything you know and what to be true about this show. 1 week from tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tell your mom, dad, auntie, unkie, brother, sister, Grammy, Grampy, neighbor. Tell your best friend. Heck, you can even tell your worst enemy. On that note, let's get our judges back in frame. We're going to welcome Sid, Dave, and Mr. Bruce Vilanch. So I want to get immediate reaction from what we just saw. Sid, let's go to you. We saw two carvers working feverishly. One, for the first time ever, went out for a smoke break. Sid, immediate reactions.
I'm not sure. I feel the same way that you did. I have trouble putting it into words because you put it so succinctly. Like, I'm not sure if I am impressed or revolted. And we'll see. I mean, I don't want to, if someone puts in good work, if they pulled it off well and quickly, I don't see why I would penalize them for that just because they didn't take the full allotted time, you know?
Well, I'll say this, and I'm sure some of you may be able to relate to this. Remember when you'd be in high school and you'd have that 90 minutes to do your exam, write the essay or whatever, and you'd see the kids leave after 30 minutes? I would always think, that guy failed. He just went for it. And usually those were the ones that failed. That's how I feel about Danielle right now.
Yeah, well, the funny thing is I've had the reverse experience of, well, it depends how early we're talking about, but I've had multiple experiences of finishing a test early and getting a good grade on it.
Fair enough. But you also strike me as an academic, Sid.
Yeah, totally. I was a good
Okay.
student.
All right. So that this might be Danielle tonight. She might be one of the skids who just wants to get out of the exam, or she might be a Sid. In the chat right now, is she a skid or is she a Sid? Bruce, let's go to you. And immediate reactions from what we saw from the Carvers.
I'll tell you what, I've been watching the Carvers backstage a little bit, and I'm telling you, I'm impressed with Marlaena. She's working quickly.
Yes.
She's using different tools. She looks like she's adept at those tools. She's at a craft table.
Yeah, she's dressed as a chef, and she looks like she's on Iron Chef.
Yeah, she's not here to lose, and she's here to impress, and she's here to show some skills. Now, look, this isn't to say that Sarah isn't trying her best, but that pumpkin is the size of a chest of drawers.
It's a beast.
That's huge. And just one eye is a challenge.
Yes.
I'm sure she's using 2 eyes. You know what I mean?
Bruce, I love it. Now, Dave, let's go to you. You just shouted to someone off air. You said, I'm on the air. Well, who were you talking to?
I was talking to my wife. I muted myself for the show, but now that I've been, my wife was asking what was going on down here.
Wait, okay, so your wife just hears you talking and wonders what's going on.
Well, I think she wanted something, and I said,
She probably wants an autograph. Mr. Bruce Vilanch.
Yeah, my wife's a huge Bruce fan.
Yeah, she's right in my demographic.
She's a Bruce booster, a Brewster.
Yeah.
Coming in from the chat, I asked, is Danielle a skid or a Sid? JR Casey writes, total skid. Dave, immediate reactions from the Carvers.
I think it's pretty cool that she went to smoke.
Yeah. But there is no cool category here.
There's no cool, unfortunately, no cool. But if you look at the side of a pack of cigarettes, it's a little spooky, so maybe.
Oh yeah, all those mouth sores, yeah, pretty cool.
Maybe that'll add to the spooky points of the whole production.
Okay,
I'm happy that Sarah gave up the box cutter, and I hope that Marlaena can power through her anxiety, because I feel like if she loses, it's because of her own nerves. Her nerves
again. People who are watching on Twitch, they don't see what we see. We're literally watching these Carvers work. I'm making this claim right now. This is Marlena's competition to lose.
Marlaena is definitely carving her heart out. Absolutely. Yeah.
But I got one thing to say, though. I think we're forgetting that Diane. That Danielle. I was thinking of Diane Keaton, who I wrote 3 minutes for the People's Choice Awards.
Yeah.
Danielle is almost sociopathically competitive, so that might kick into gear and serve her well.
All right. I will say it feels like we're not giving Sarah a lot of credit here. She's got crazy eyes, but also crazy focused eyes.
Yeah. Also, we have to remember that Danielle is in the same space as Sarah. So
I think you mean Diane.
We could see Diane, Miss Diane Keaton, crawl over to.
Yeah, she's been crawling a lot off frame.
I could see her crawling out of her square and directly over to Sarah's square and giving her a strangle, because she's just that competitive.
Well, I want to chat with you guys. We've been talking about Halloween all month long. It only feels fair to wind down our Halloween programming with the Halloween chat. Sid, are you doing anything for Halloween this year? Have you done anything for Halloween this year? And are you going to be giving out any candy for Halloween this year?
No's across the board, basically. This year, like I was open to it, but there just weren't any parties that I was interested in going this year.
Yeah, I will say it. I think Halloween felt off this year. It never quite felt like it was a spooky season, and I think it's because, at least here, we had all 4 seasons in the span of 30 days. Last week, it was hot and I was wearing shorts. Yesterday, it's like 2 degrees by the end of the night.
And
Dave,
this
let's
morning
go.
it snowed.
Yeah, and we had snow this morning. Dave, let's go to you. Any Halloween plans?
I'm going to be trick-or-treating with my daughter. And we're having a couple people over. We're going to have a pizza party.
Okay, that's very fun. Now, are you going to be dressing up for the trick-or-treating?
Yeah, I think I might throw something together.
Are you going to wear this?
Maybe. Probably.
Right. Okay. Bruce, any Halloween plans this year so far?
Well, as you know, I was invited to a number of Hollywood parties.
That's true. I did know that.
We all know that.
Sure. But I said no to all of them. I'm going to spend Halloween here in quaint little Lake Placid, New York. But it is going to be a high of 0 here and a prediction of 3 inches of snow. So,
Bruce, you have experience in being a weatherman? Because the delivery was immaculate.
Yeah, that was really tight.
Yeah.
You know Stormy Chase, the weather person on the Weather Channel?
James knows Stormy Daniels.
No.
Who
Stormy
doesn't?
Chase.
She was part of a very topical news story.
That's right.
Yeah, I wrote all her dialogue.
Yeah, would you like to tell us about some of your favorite dialogue that you wrote for her?
Yeah, I have it right here. Ooh, faster, Daddy. That was me. Mr. Bruce Vilanch. So it's going to be. Usually we gather on a friend's lawn and there's like a whole bunch of kids that come and trick or treat. But I think tomorrow's going to be a little bit light, so I might just stay in. But
Okay.
all the kids, all the elementary school kids remember, I'm spending Halloween in a small town.
Yeah.
All the elementary school kids have a parade on Main Street, and so I'll probably go see that.
You're going to tell me Mr. Bruce Vilanch is not the Grand Marshal?
Well, it was supposed to be a surprise for the local people of Lake Placid, New York. But yes, it is true. Mr. Bruce Vilanch, center square.
Now, can you imagine, James, the look on those kids' faces when they find out that Bruce Vilanch is the Marshal?
Yeah, Mommy, Daddy, wait, it can't be. It sure is. It's Bruce Vilanch, kids.
That's right. And I'll be all like, stop. Enough with the photographs and the requests. Of course, I'll hold your baby.
Bruce Vilanch, center square.
Oh, Sid, who is that?
It's the baby.
The baby, of course.
Baby.
Yeah. I want to continue the chat about Halloween here. Do we have any favorite Halloween traditions that are maybe part of the zeitgeist or unique to us? Dave, let's go to you.
I mean, I'm doing it tomorrow. I'm having a pizza party, a neighborhood pizza party, and then
You're throwing a neighborhood pizza party?
Well, our neighbors are coming over.
So not a neighborhood.
And some other people from NDG are coming over. And my parents, who are also from NDG.
Well, I noticed that I was not invited.
Well, you don't live in NDG, James.
Well, I'm there enough because you never like to get in the car and visit me in St. Henry.
Well, I'd like to extend an official invitation for all the judges and the host of At Home with James.
So the 3 of us on air now with you.
That's right.
All right, Sid, you think you're going to make it to Dave's neighborhood pizza party tomorrow?
It sounds lovely. I wish I could, but I will not be able to make it.
Oh, why not?
Because I have other plans.
Okay, what are you doing for Halloween tomorrow, Sid?
Oh, I'm working on projects. I'm not giving out candy, but I have this whole planning thing that I do, and Tuesday nights are usually strategic nights to work on shit.
Understood. Bruce, outside of being the Grand Marshal, any Halloween plans or traditions that you've been partaking in this year? Anything that you plan on doing with the time left?
To further infantilize college students, they've asked faculty members to sign up so our college kids during the day can go from office to office trick-or-treating and collect candy. So I'll be doing that.
Wait, are you currently taking a course, Bruce?
That's right. You didn't know? I'm teaching adjunct at the
Oh,
local.
you're
college.
teaching?
Yeah.
What do you teach?
Oh, what are you
Bruce?
teaching? Yeah, what do you teach, Bruce?
I didn't know you were a professor.
Creative writing?
Professor Vilanch.
No, comparative mythology, actually.
Oh, tell us a little bit about it and how it relates to Halloween.
Well, this right now we're covering the hero's journey, and as you know, everything from Luke Skywalker to Icarus all follow the same travel beats. So we're doing that. What does it have to do with Halloween? Well, perhaps you've seen a little movie called Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yes.
Why, that is nothing more than a hero's journey of Freddy Krueger, from boy to man.
Wait, Freddy Krueger, in your opinion, is the hero of that film?
Well, yes, of course.
Okay, I want to touch on that. Do we like to indulge in scary and or Halloween movies during the season? Sid, let's go to you. You scary movie guy?
I don't like horror movies, but there are a couple like basically the Evil Deads
Sure.
and the classic slasher movies that I watched when I was younger, like Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
I was more into Friday the 13th than Nightmare on Elm Street, but I did watch some of the earlier ones.
Yeah, I agree. I think the fact that he attacks in dreams is it takes me out of it a little bit. I like to suspend my disbelief in real time. And I think the Friday series, they're a little bit sillier, right? Like Jason Takes Manhattan, that insane fight scene where there's a boxer beating him up for a few minutes until Jason just punches his head off of his body.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. I haven't seen Jason. That's the fourth one, right? Yeah.
I think it's even later in the series. That's when they decided, let's put him on a boat and send him to the Big Apple.
The thing that that I remember the most about Jason and Friday the 13th and shit is how he would catch up to his victims by walking when his victims were running.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, he starts to possess superhuman qualities after he's brought back to life by way of a lightning storm. Bruce, are you a scary movie guy?
I like a scary movie. I'll tell you what I like best. I like a haunted house.
Yeah.
And I like possession. Possession I like. Haunted house I like.
Yeah,
I
these
don't
are the
like
two.
torture.
These are the two. I'm not a big fan of. I like there to be a person who is the villain.
Mm-mm.
I like
seeing
campy.
somebody get stabbed.
Well, that's why you're a wholesome performer.
Mm.
Dave, what about
Haunted
you?
house.
Scary movie guy?
Not really. I don't watch them.
Ever?
Nope.
Too scared?
Yep.
Well,
You ever
on
seen
that note,
Insidious?
I want to give our carvers a few minutes warning. You do not have much time left. How do we feel about a 5-minute warning for our carvers? Is that fair?
Fair to me.
Danielle's just gonna twiddle her thumbs for
Yeah,
5
Danielle
minutes.
is fine. Danielle, for those who can't see, which of course are the viewers, is now wearing a witch hat. Dave, how do you feel about a 5-minute warning?
I like it. Should I cut just to get an image of the carvers here?
Yeah, let's do a quick peek at the carvers as they're working. They're working feverishly here. You know what? Let's throw to the carvers. Dave, we're gonna throw to the carvers.
We're there.
Okay.
Oh,
So you've just been given your 5-minute warning. Danielle, you're fine, so that's a-okay. Sarah, how do you feel about 5 minutes?
I have like the urge to do more, but I feel like I'll fuck it up if I try to do more.
Okay, so you would say for the most part you feel satisfied that you're reaching finality here.
I'm reaching the limits of my capabilities.
And I think that counts as finality. Marlaena, you were, when I said you're running out of time, you looked into your camera, you were bewildered, scared, and now you had already set a very fast pace. You're working harder. How do you feel with this warning? Yeah.
I really, really wish I had more time. I feel like there's so much more that I could do. I think these are the moments when we really just have to accept, the product as it is. And I hope it's, it's acceptable. But
all right,
yeah.
you keep working, Marlaena. Danielle, you heard us talking. off air. We said that you're either going to be a skid or a Sid. Bruce called you Diane.
Yeah.
How are you? You are finished. You are finished. How do you feel about your product?
I mean, I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I mean,
Okay.
do I think it's good? Who knows? Like, what's good, you know?
Yeah. Well, art is subjective.
Yeah, and I had a good time, which I think pleasure should be one of the categories.
Well, we cannot measure what we assume your pleasure was doing it. We can't score you on assumed pleasure. If we were,
right.
you'd clearly get a perfect score because you were so pleasured that you had to stop for a smoke break.
I mean, sure, you can't actually rate it, but I'm just saying this for me was a good time. So,
Great.
you know, I would rather have a good time than have a good product.
It's important to have fun. And with that being said, Danielle, I think we know where your pumpkin is going to land. Let's go back to the judges here as we give them their final moments. Okay, heading into this, they've got a couple minutes left. What are we feeling? We just checked in with them, said, let's go to you. What's your gut telling you before we start judging based on everything that you heard? Sarah said, I could do a little more. I'm stopping myself, and it might be beyond my capabilities. Marlaena says, this is the moment where you just got to go with it. If she had more time, it could have been greater. Danielle had fun. What's your impressions before we start the scoring?
I have never been this curious to see all three pumpkins for such widely different reasons.
But what are those reasons? What are those reasons?
Well, Sarah, I'm just curious to see what she managed to pull off. Like, it was like setting to climb Mount Everest with just like 50 feet of rope. And it's like, okay, let's do it. Why not?
Sid, I gotta say it.
Yeah.
You are the man. You are the man.
Thank you. And Marlena's been pouring her heart and soul into this project.
I've never seen anyone.
It's like,
this is unreal. Yeah.
It's like a labor of love. And I'm very curious to see what Danielle is ready to submit, knowing, like, openly, everyone knows that this was done in like probably less than half the time as everyone else.
And
yeah,
she could have carved. I think she could have given us 3 pumpkins in the span of it. and we, this, you know, as the judges here, we've been filibustering pretty good for them. Bruce, let's go to you. Based on what you just heard, the final check-in with the carvers, what are you feeling?
Well, I think Marlaena really is working like an artist. I can see her using, and I have an idea that she's using unconventional accoutrements.
Yes,
with that jack-o'-lantern. I think we have something really interesting to see.
Bruce, I want to jump in. Is it fair to say that Marlaena has captured the imagination of the viewers tonight?
She's like it's like she's working in a studio.
Yes.
Yes. Though I will say that when Sarah has to stand up to sort of reach her pumpkin, that's a big pumpkin. And again, the color of that pumpkin, when you see it again, you're going to know what I mean.
Okay.
It's really, I really like that shade of orange, for real. It's really nice.
Maybe that should have been a criteria. Orange.
Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah. What are you saying about Danielle, Bruce, aka Diane?
I think Diane's getting some well-deserved rest.
Yes. You think she worked hard? Because I don't.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I have an idea she's going to turn around the pumpkin. It's just going to be like a hole.
Which would be very disappointing.
Well, it would be surprising.
All right. Dave, let's go to you. We did the final check-in. What are you thinking about all the carvers and where they're going to fare?
You know, it always makes me a little bit suspect when somebody proclaims that they had a lot of fun doing something.
All right. Why?
Well, because I've done enough improv shows where if the number one thing going out of it is, oh, I had a bunch of fun, it probably means the show was pretty bad.
Right. So it sounds like we're a lot of us are saying the same thing about Diane. What do you think about Marlaena? Dave.
Marlaena, I think is she's sweating.
Yeah.
I think she's putting in her God's honest best try. And I'm excited because I really don't even know what the range of output could be from that pumpkin. I feel like it could be 1,000 different things, and I'm excited to see how it manifests.
Yeah, it could be. It could blow us away, or we could go, what a mess.
Yeah.
I will say that going into this show tonight, after talking to all three contestants, I thought this might be the worst pumpkins of all time.
Yeah, and there's nothing that's happened thus far that would indicate that that's not going to be the case.
Now, what did you think about Sarah? Because Sarah, this is the first year that someone's had a monster pumpkin.
It is a monster pumpkin, and I'm a fan of monster stuff. So
wait, what?
Big things, James. I like a nice big thing. A big truck, a big car.
What else?
A big cock. Anything big.
Yeah. Hey, Bruce, did you write that joke for Dave?
He did.
I sure did. I even suggested the aside.
Yeah.
It's all about detail.
Very
it's all
Shakespearean.
It's in the details.
Yeah.
Hey, we must be at that 5-minute mark, huh?
Oh, well, I think we've surpassed the 5-minute mark. I think
let's see those pumpkins.
I think I tacked on an extra 5 minutes when I saw the fear in some of their eyes.
So I think Sarah's could be okay, but it also could be shit.
Well, I think we should probably do a countdown here. The pumpkins must cease to be carved in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we're not going to reveal our pumpkins yet. Dave, who's been doing a phenomenal job as our technical director tonight, is going to be merging everyone onto the screen for the reveal, not yet, followed by the scoring.
James, can we do the reveal maybe in the not everybody, because I feel like we're not going to see the pumpkins.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. So right now we've got Sarah, we've got Marlaena, and we've got Danielle. The carving, Marlaena, are you tinkering? Wait, what was that?
She was lighting a candle.
Yeah, if you're allowed to light candles if you wish. I don't mean to be a disciplinarian, but I have to verify due to the sanctity of the carve. Now, time has elapsed. It is over. How do we feel before we reveal the pumpkins with our finished product? We've spoken to Danielle. We've got a thumbs up. Marlaena, how do you feel about your finished product?
You know what? I kind of like it. I think I really wish there's so much more I could have done. But what can one do?
Well, and this is the thing, right? We know that everyone could have done more because I could have said, hey, start carving at noon, do as you wish. But the goal here is what can you do in basically 45 to 50 minutes? Sarah, how do you feel now that you're done?
Yeah, I covered some surface area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's no time like the present. To our carvers, I now request that you bring your pumpkins into frame. This is very exciting. I'm nervous. This is very, very interesting. This is very interesting.
Light.
So Danielle, her pumpkin has a cigarette. Now, I almost wonder if we can get better shots at the pumpkins. I think it's a little tricky right now. Sarah, maybe you want to lift yours a little bit. Yeah, you're going to want to lift yours up, Sarah. Yeah, Danielle's is very spectacular. It has sunglasses. Marlaena, can we dive into your pumpkin here?
Yeah, so basically I wanted to make like a little house of weird horrors. So I did a lot of collage there's inside there's a carpet and some hallucinogenic images, and I made a little ramp. And there's also beads pinned to it and a little pendant here.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Now, can you kind of take us on a little tour with your camera?
Well, okay, so this is my laptop, so it's a little tough.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, so up here, we have some cutouts. I have like a book of antique jewelry that I cut some things out of, and so this is like a pendant. There's also the crown of Christ, kind of as an archway. And then I did some cutouts of as there's little windows here, little it's kind of abstract, but I made little frames, and there's beads pinned across. It was kind of a last minute thing. And then the little stairs leading up are pinned as well. So there's like a little step happening here.
Oh my God.
And then if you dive inside the pumpkin.
This feels like we're watching an episode of MTV Cribs. Are you going to show us where the magic happens?
Yeah.
Oh.
This is where the magic happens. So I've got a little so there's kind of, I wanted to make like a wallpaper, and then there's a red carpet with like a little mini carpet, and then there's my little puzzle there. And then there's also this pendant that's hanging as kind of like I don't know, like what do you call that? Like, hey, spirits, come on over here, because I was not aware that it had to be spooky. And so I was thinking I would just maybe make a little a sweet little house. But then
look, you may lose spooky points based on what the judges think, but you might make up for it with everything else.
Well, I decided that I wanted to lean into the spookiness, and so I tried to make a spooky house, but maybe
I want to quickly go to the chat here. We've got from J.R.A. Casey, quote, "I'm genuinely afraid of Sarah's." This person also writes, "It's $4,000 a month to rent Marlena's pumpkin." High Score Run says that it is spooky that would be the cost of rent. Farm Boy asks, Marlaena, is that a steam pumpkin? A steam pumpkin?
No,
very interesting.
I don't like that.
High Score Run also writes, that looks like James's apartment. Now, I want to go to Danielle. Danielle, let's go to yours. I must say I'm impressed with what you accomplished. I will, now that it's done, I thought yours was going to be trash.
It's trash. It's smoking a cigarette. It's got heart-shaped sunglasses.
Let's see it. We want to see it. We want to see it.
Well, okay, hold on. I took out the glasses because they might be on fire.
Yeah.
But, hold on. Let's see if I can do this. Handling a phone, too,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's catching fire. But,
okay.